We're talking about the economy, at least the digital version of it. So Tinubu's digital economy plans for Nigeria. Rotus? All right, Fisayo.
Yes, I'm with you. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, well, I mean, we have a president-elect, and he has some plans for the digital economy, and they are ambitious plans. And we want to get Fisayo's thoughts. I mean, Fisayo, he's talking about, what is he saying now? 2 million jobs in the ICT sector within 24 months or something like that. He's talking about, I want us to go through this plan by plan. He's talking about, let me see now, 90% broadband penetration by 2025. I know the broadband plan under the Buhari administration was going for 70% by 2025. So, I mean, Fisayo, what do we think? I mean, let's start with the ICT jobs, 24 months, 2 million jobs. Fisayo, let's go.
Okay, so I read the manifesto last night again, just to be sure that I have context. I understand exactly what the president is trying to do. And of course, or the president-elect had promised to do, right? So, and of course, I looked through it. While to a large extent, the document is summary, so I did expect to see a lot of details as well. But again, I also expect to see some level of thoughts, and deliberateness into writing, into what was written down. So basically, the way my perspective to any manifesto is that, anyone can write anything. If I want to become president, I can promise you the whole world, 2 million jobs in 2 years. Yes, it's a promise I made. But the question that we have to ask ourselves is that how does the president-elect, or when he eventually becomes president, how does he intend to achieve, that plan? Is it plan number one? I think when we're growing up, they tell us that our goals should be SMART or something like that. It should be,
specific, measurable,
all the things around it, right? So are they realistic, for instance, right? It's part of the SMART goals. Are they realistic? 2 million jobs, because I like the way you use the word create. It makes it feel like there's some mystical thing to creating jobs. You just, and then create, right? So there is always a way that jobs are made, right? We can't just, speak jobs into existence, right? So how do you intend to come about this creation of jobs? Jobs don't come from just government speaking. It means that businesses have to recruit, right? So what are you doing to ensure that there are more businesses set up, or even the existing businesses, especially in the IT space, because you're looking for 2 million jobs in the technology space, right? So you're saying that the existing businesses need to be willing and able to expand a lot more, right? So that they can recruit more people while having policies to set up new jobs or new sets of jobs, right? To be able to get 2 million people recruited, right, in the first place. So that's even just on the surface level, right? So my question is that what are these, innovative ideas? What are these policies you're going to say that will implement on this policy that will further drive, this, job creation drive on the IT sector in the first place? So there's really no details around how the president intends to do this thing. And I just like, well, it's a nice thing to say. I can say that too. So, how does that change anybody's life? So, I'm not particularly impressed about that.
What about the broadband penetration 90% by 2025? What about that?
Yeah, okay. So, again, talking about broadband, the question is that what is broadband? What at what speed, upload or download speed, does an internet service qualify as broadband, right? And how do you intend to deliver a broadband internet to 90% of the people, or to cover 90% of the country, in 2 years, or 2023, in 2 years? The truth is that even some of the most developed economies, the UK, the US, they probably don't have 90% broadband, internet connectivity. They might have 100% internet connectivity, but it might not be broadband internet, meaning that you don't require some certain speed, especially with the kind of consumption that you need. So, for instance, I was trying to buy a laptop, yesterday for myself. And also, my wife had promised someone else to buy a laptop for the person. So I had to ask, what does the person want to use the laptop for? So I can figure out the kind of specification that the person will require, or minimum requirement. If the person is a gamer, you need graphics card, you need all of those, things that will ensure that the performance of the laptop is up to speed. But the person is just someone that types on Microsoft Word and saves, right? You don't need a system with graphics card. So my point is that 90% broadband sounds like, it's a lofty idea. But the question is that when you make such investment in broadband infrastructure and you make it in a place that is less dense, right? That a 3G, 4G network will be fine, right? How do you intend to recoup the money? What are you doing around right-of-ways? Are you going to partner with, say, Elon Musk with, what's the name of this company again?
Starlink to deliver broadband internet. So how are these things going to be delivered? So these are specific questions that need to be, maybe even highlighted in the manifesto, which I didn't see some of those highlights, around. So this is how specifically, because, right of way laying cables, from Lagos through to Ibadan, or to Taraba might not make sense. So how do you deliver broadband in Taraba, right? Internet in Taraba. How do you deliver broadband internet in Borno? How to deliver broadband internet in some of the most remote areas? Does my village need broadband internet, for instance? Right. So these are things that we just need to question. Right. So saying to us that yes, I'll deliver broadband internet, I don't even think the whole country needs broadband internet. Right. But you said it, so how do you intend to deliver it? I guess these are questions. Will the government, put the capital down to deliver the service, especially across, or do you, encourage telcos to shift from 3Gs to 5Gs? What kind of spectrum requirements would they have? So again, these are questions that need to figure out a way to put all of that together. So, okay, this is how I'm going to ensure that broadband internet gets to everyone. Well, like I said, the question is not even about broadband. Does everyone need broadband? Last time I went to my village, okay, not before the election, Christmas, New Year time, I went to the village and I discovered that, because we live in Lagos, we don't understand how many people even interact with phones and data. Many people turn off their data on a daily because they feel that, because your data is just on. The fact that the data is on, is a cost to you in the first place. Is that the person to develop, broadband internet too? I expect this person to consume internet and then, pay money so that you can recoup the investment. You're never going to recoup investment in that kind of scenario. That people are not going to open your WhatsApp if he has an image or video to it, because nobody wants to use that data to watch any video. But that person doesn't need broadband internet. It just needs, chat. Chat is fine. Text message is fine. Phone call. That's all it needs to do. You don't require broadband internet for that service. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, I think it's, it's just those things that we need to essentially address.
Promises, 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 promises. It's going to be a very interesting next 4 years. And, there's, in fact, even on Monday, Zibby will probably, in fact, I think all week, Zibby, all of next week, we'll be going through the economic manifesto. He's made a lot of oil and gas. He says he wants to increase production to 4 million barrels per day. We've never done better than 2 in the last 20 years or more. So Yeah, so we'll be going through a lot. But Fisayo, really quickly, almost at the time. The broadband plan, I think it was January of 2020 when it was announced or so. We're at 38%, I think, or 36% broadband penetration.
Internet penetration. Is it, no, is it broadband internet penetration or just internet penetration?
Probably just internet. And I think we're at 45 now in 3 years. So do you have any optimism very quickly that we can make any inroads between now and 2025?
I'm not optimistic, right? Regarding any of this, right? Especially in a country where revenues are particularly challenged. When you spend over 90% of your income on debt service, right? So there's only so much the government can do with its own government revenues. Of course, I know that the president has said that they're going to remove subsidy, so that all the expenditure going to subsidy, goes away, from day one. Again, well, the current president actually removed it, technically. So from June 1st, subsidy goes. So it means that, maybe some money can be, raised, can be received, given, little or no expenditure on fuel subsidy. But you need much more than fuel subsidy removal to save money. You need, to do a lot more. So really, I'm not particularly, optimistic about, the tech sector. The Startup Act is not implemented. No one has any time for that. So again, just many moving parts. So we just continue to grow until I guess we get it right. I guess.
All right, let's take a few messages. We're almost out of time. Michael says, in criticizing the manifesto, Fisayo says laying cables across the country makes no sense. With prejudice, I beg to differ. Look at how fiber internet cables have helped to improve the internet experience in Lagos and other Nigerian cities. Even 5G network can be transmitted through the cables. Gilbert says, it is good that the president-elect is considering creating more jobs in the IT sector. We should also consider the current challenge facing the sector, like energy and other infrastructural deficits, and work towards improving it. Also, adequate funding for previous players in the sector as well. Well, thank you for your messages and thank you for listening. Thank you, Rotus. Thank you, Fisayo. Have a brilliant day ahead.
Thanks, guys. See you guys Monday.
All right, do stay with us. There is a lot more to come on the Smooth Breakfast.